Gaffer, defeat today at home to Gillingham. What was your assessment of the performance this afternoon?
Yeah, I thought we were. We started in nervy fashion. I thought, they got on the front foot and their physicality told, and we were edgy. I think it's a confidence issue. We've trained ever so well, but it's taken it into games. It's taken that psychological handbrake off, and that's the challenge for us at the moment on this run. We got to half time, at 0-0. Obviously, we wanted to be more on the front foot and create more. And then the first 7 minutes of the second half is where the game got taken away from us. There was a first shot and goal, I think, for them, ended up back of the net, where we didn't latch on and mark up in the box, and then penalty award, I think, was harsh. That gave them a position of strength then, and the confidence then built up for them. When we passed the ball a little bit better second half, there were spells where it was more attractive on the eye. But I can't say that we created too many clear-cut chances against a big, powerful outfit.
You mentioned obviously that we started fairly edgy today. Looking forward, we got in at half time 0-0, so it puts us in a position where we can go on to at least take a point, get the victory. We had a switch at half time, and obviously George Thompson coming on for Tom Kersons. What was the thinking behind that? Was it formation?
Well, not as much formation. We just, I think there was no connectivity between the front men and midfield in the first half, and it looked so straight line. Weren't particularly combining, as a front two, and I felt from where I was standing, it was a good viewpoint to look at the lack of connectivity that was fairly obvious. Tomo coming in off the line, had more combination work with the midfielders and a little bit more linkage with the front man. But yeah, it still didn't yield goals for us. That's what we need. And so we have to keep pushing. I do think Emerson came on and really did well. He impressed, and Aidan Marsh did as well, because he was running behind and more threatening with his runs. We have to dust ourselves down again, and it's the ability to do that for any of the bottom 3 or 4 teams, probably the ones that are going to survive. 57 points to play for. We have to be better than today, but we have to be very good between now and Tuesday, not to just get sucked into negativity and doubts. We have to come out better on Tuesday than we did today.
Obviously, the 2 goals in quick succession, as you've referenced there, obviously one was a penalty, which I think we look at it and there may have been questions about that. Do you think the sort of 2 goals in quick succession so soon after the break, do you think some of the edginess and lack of confidence was sort of playing into that rather than a mentality?
Yeah, well, that's why we made the change at half time, because it felt like the lads were so much on edge, they were hanging on. Their main threat at that point in the first half was more so the long throws and the set pieces, which they're pretty good at because the amount of big bodies that they're able to throw in there. And we handled them pretty well, but we didn't just want to be gloves up. We wanted a bit more, connectivity and a bit more passing in there. I just felt it was too straight line first half. We've trained well this week where we're forward come off and play and Wyman roll in, but we've got to do it when the pressure's on. And there was no evidence of that first half for me to really back. I don't think we conceded goals on the back of a slight tweak or Tomo coming on. We just didn't deal with a couple of situations which we've got to learn to be better at.
You mentioned obviously off the bench today there was Emerson Sutton, Aidan Marsh on for their debut. I think there's 4 home debutants in the starting 11. Also, we've done a fair bit of business in January. How much of a challenge has it been to sort of integrate so many new faces into the squad? And what, particularly today and around training, what sort of impact have you seen from the lads who've come in, that can take that positivity moving forward? Yeah,
well, I think the young lads who are aspirational, and it's right back to where we started, at this club, we've got to give people opportunity. Who are hungry, fit lads who want to commit to living up in the area, and you stand more of a chance of that, I feel, than just playing at it. We want serious young lads, and it's a great opportunity for them to come in and handle adversity and really shine as young players. There'll be ups and downs with that, and we have to face reality with that. But we're here to support them and support the rest of the lads so that we can gel it as quickly as possible and be better. We've still got 8 senior players out, and we're saying that there's light at the end of the tunnel with the injuries, but there's been 8 to 12 players out consistently now since September, since we last won a game against Gillingham. It's a challenge for right at the top of the pyramid, never mind at Harrogate Town. And we have to be stoic, we have to dig in like never before. We've challenged the lads that. But I have just gone back into the changing room after my team and said there's 57 points to play for. We were great the last 15 minutes last week. We were solid, and then we were great the last 10 minutes and pushed hard. We didn't start the game with the same freedom. And that's because playing at home, being a bit edgy, and there's a lot at stake. But 57 points to play for. We have to be positive. We have to stick together and forget out all the outside noise. It would be a great achievement given the circumstances to start climbing the table, and we have to be positive and stick together.
You mentioned then just finally, obviously the points left to play for. One of the positives I guess today is we've got such a quick turnaround on Tuesday night. Surely people hurting in that dressing room. It's positive it's coming around so soon, because I'm guessing everyone's desperate to get back out there, aren't they? Yeah, they are.
Obviously they haven't come straight back into the changing room saying, hey, we're desperate to get back out straight away. They're upset. They do care. It's not like it's a game of five-a-side in a sports hall and see you next week. This is people's livelihoods. We're sweating blood over the cause. That people have sleepless nights. They want to improve it. We've got young lads stepping into the breach to improve it. We've got older lads, grafting hard to stay with it and step up to the plate. Namely, Josh Rockham did great, but he's coming in from the cold, not doing a pre-season as the youth team manager. Circumstances can't be any more testing for us. I can't remember many more strikes, that they had second half than the ones, but it shows their potency. That kind of quality must be great, to have it at your disposal where it's one shot, one goal for Vokes, and tremendous experience to have with him. But we know that there's ability in the camp. It's up to us to get that ability at a time when confidence is low and when the injury list is still huge. But we've all got to dig in together and take tremendous pride when the next win we achieve, and we want it Tuesday night more than anything.
Fantastic. Thanks, Gavin.
Cheers.